Well, hello again, back from their video. Yes, I know I got a beard. Anyway, what am I here to talk about again? Well, I'm here to talk about a show that I've technically finished. I've already finished it around September, I would say, but I've actually watched the spin-off last installment of it hours ago. What's the show you may call? It is called Vis a Vis, or in English-speaking markets, international markets, Locked Up. It was a show that aired on the Spanish network Antena 3, which you might be familiar with because another show called La Casa de Papel, or Money Heist, also aired on that network before becoming a Netflix show. And this also got the rights to Netflix airing it. And yeah, it was a show. Pretty good one. And yeah, I'm gonna try to gather my thoughts a little bit so I won't have to have it be, a scrambling mess. Anyways, it was on Antenna 3 for its first two seasons, but then the last two seasons and the spin off were on Fox in Spain because it got canceled and then they had to film on another set. And the show is a pretty good watch. It's about a woman named Macarena Ferrero. Is it Ferrero or I think it's Ferrero. And she is caught because she steals money for a guy she's having an affair with, and she goes to prison, and it kind of ends up becoming a bit of an ensemble piece with various different characters, including such as Sole, an older woman who was convicted for murdering her husband, a woman named Annabelle who's, well, awful, and she's like a scammer, and she was formerly a lawyer, as well as a character who starts off as an antagonist, Zulema Zaire, and her little friend, Saray. And the show was pretty good for the most part. It was well written, well paced, definitely had some suspenseful moments, very stylish crime thriller stuff, and the performances were pretty good. Maka was a little bit annoying at first, but she also kind of gained it to herself a little bit more. The cast was good, and that's about I could think. Okay, I feel like there are some spoilery issues I'm gonna have to discuss now because I can't think of anything else. So, bye, non-spoiler people. Okay, I'm just gonna probably ramble about spoilers, and I might be a little incoherent. But, yeah, the season 3 airing on the other network, Fox, in Spain, definitely caused some issues because there's, like, this character in the first couple seasons who's, like, a guard at the prison named Valbuena, who, like, he assaults one of our main characters, and he, like, after that, he's never faced justice or anything. Like, what the fuck? Because, like, that just annoyed me. And also, like, the casting was a little weird. And also, for other things, the representation. There is some people of color within the show. Notably, Zulema, who is Egyptian, I'm pretty sure, or Fransare, who is Romani, as well as some other characters in the show who are Latino, Latina, although that can be debated because not all Latinos are white. Oh, yeah, not all are white, some are white. It kind of is like, it's not a race, it's an ethnicity. And also there are some like side black characters like here and there. One of the main characters, Estefania Kabila, or Rizos, or Curly in the subtitles, she is half black. She is stated to be mixed race in the season 3 episode. It's not a spoiler. You wouldn't really gather anything. But her character, I liked her relationship with Maka for a bit, though. To admit, parts of it could be kind of toxic, and she was kind of like needy. Like, come on, like, you gotta admit, her, like, threatening to try to kill herself and jump off that roof in order to get that one lesbian cop's attention, that's pretty toxic. And also, like, I feel like that the lesbian cop ended up falling victim to the bury your gays trope after Mercedes shot her. Like, I kind of feel like it's a bury your gays trope or whatever. And yeah, and also some issues with representation regarding Zulema. I did see some viewers who are, I guess, like Muslim, Arab, West Asian, criticize Zulema's character, like at least in season 1, where they're the villains, and that some of the on-screen scene, like Arabic and a text, is like inaccurate, and parts of it could seem to be villainizing Muslims, and also, like a couple Asian characters, but they weren't really present. Like East Asian specifically, like in the first couple episodes, the main cop detective guy, he has like an Asian sidekick guy, but then he gets killed. And then in season 3, like there's this whole Chinese mob, and they're villainous, and that's like the only amount of East Asian representation within the show, and that's pretty sad. Yeah, it's really sad. And I'm laughing because I'm nervous because it's like, yeah, you fucked up there. Sarai. I would say they handle their character okay. Like, okay, I could say this. In the last episode of the spin-off, if you haven't seen it, click away. At Zulema's funeral, like, seeing her fulfill her promise of dancing and singing when she dies did make me tear up a little bit, I gotta admit that. And also, let's just talk about... Oh, wait. Before I talk about the spin-off. Fatima's death. Very unnecessary. It made no sense. Like, she just randomly killed herself out of nowhere. Okay? What the fuck? Although, okay, also that finale was pretty good. Soleil went out like she wanted to go out, because it was sad to see Soleil go, but, after all the fucked up shit that she was put through, especially for fucking Annabelle, when Annabelle finally died, I was happy, because, well, duh, of course. Like, she was awful. She was just a manipulator who had no loyalty. But Soleil's death was, like, really sad. But she went out on her own terms, and she needed to rest after all the terrible, terrible shit she's been through. But also back to Fatima, like, without the Gracia and her dying, that made sense, because she killed, Sandoval's wife. Like, she had it coming. And also Sandoval, his death was satisfying, because he was a creepy rapist predator, and frustrating, and when he finally got killed, yes, I was rooting for it. Thank you. The last one, though. Okay, let's talk about that. It was okay, but I felt like it was kind of unnecessary. Like, okay, I could kind of understand parts of it, but I just felt like it was dragged on for a little bit too long. Like, the 8-episode format is okay, but it just didn't feel like... It felt like they were dragging it out, because then they got to add in not only just, like, Zulema, Macarena, as well as Goya, who someone made a point about her being a rapist, which is kind of questionable. Okay, you're making a character who's kind of a rapist into a good person now, and she has a girlfriend? Oh, okay. Anyways, like, we have the main heist, and that was fine, but then they gotta, like, add in, like, the hotel owner, the woman and her son, they're related to Sandoval, and, we gotta add in this girl whose dad's kind of a creeper, let's add in these random teenagers, who most of them are bullies. Oh, 1 second. Okay, I had to let my dog out, so I'm gonna do this as fast as I can. Like, it felt like that they just were adding in reasons for them to stay at the motel. No, the corrupt cops who didn't amount to much. Like, they're there, they kill the other cop, and then Zulema kills the other two. Like, they don't even amount to much. But then they got to add, like, the girl with her family and the teenagers, and it felt like they were just adding in all this other stuff just to drag it out. Like, I can understand kind of concluding the story of Macarena and Zulema, but the other stuff was like, okay, I can understand the family with the hotel, I didn't mind them, like, with Sandoval's. The girl with her creepy dad, I can understand that as well, but the other stuff, they don't need to be there. They really don't need to be there. Like, they really don't add much to the story, besides just some scenes that tackle bullying and homophobia and assuming people's sexuality and other stuff, but, like, it was just unnecessary because they didn't amount to much. Because, like, the girl and her mom and her creepy dad, at least they got somewhat of a conclusion. The kid, they just ran off, and then we don't hear of them again. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And also, someone I saw in, like, the TV Showtime comment section, like, like, Goya went too far. But, like, I understood why Goya, she did that, and she wasn't a good person anyway, so it's kind of in line with her character, you know? Yeah, but yeah, I felt like they were dragging out. It could have been 6 episodes and that would have been fine. Oh, and also another really bad thing. Like, the villain just does kill them all after his daughter kills himself, even though he caused that by killing the guy who she liked? Who was her husband, I think? I kinda got confused if that was her husband, or I think it was her husband. You caused that! You caused your daughter to die by doing that! And you're gonna do this? Like, what the fuck? Anyways, pretty good show, I recommend. Some of the issues representation are kind of off. Anyways, good show, would recommend, but I would be cautious with some of the representation. Anyways, see you again for another video. Bye!